Well, after a slightly jittery start, the markets have roared ahead, and at the high point of the day for the Sensex, the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. The Sensex and the Nifty Bank are at a record high, while the Nifty is just about 20 points away. That's the sort of morning this has been. This is Chartbusters. I'm Manglam Malu. With me is Nigel D'Souza. Nigel, good morning.
Well, morning, Manglam. You know, everyone's talking about the weakness that you're seeing on the ground in terms of demand. The pickup is not there in consumer sentiment and the likes, and auto sales are not picking up or whatever. But just take a look at the market. You know, I think less than a week ago, we were at around 11,832.
Yeah.
You know, from there, we have seen more than a 300-point rally. It's a big rally, very, very sharp, in fact. And now just 20 points away from those all-time highs. People are saying that, hey, maybe Santa's not going to come to town. I think Santa's come to town, man. I mean,
absolutely.
It's
and this
quite
time,
good.
Santa is green and not red.
Yeah, it's green. And you know what he's saying?
What's that?
Ho, ho, ho.
All right. And ho, 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 indeed it is. Because, you know, look at the top three gainers on the Nifty. They're Hindalco, HUL and HDFC Bank. So it's three H's. Ho, ho, ho. First up, all the top headlines, and then we get cracking on all the individual things that we're tracking this morning. Vedanta surges in trade. Reports suggest that the company is interested in BPCL. Evaluation is on, says Anil Agarwal.
And Maruti Suzuki trades in the green. BofA ML upgrades the stock to buy from a neutral. They raise the target price to 8,650. The brokerage says the company is best placed for recovery in the passenger vehicle segment as the earnings cycle is expected to bottom out in FY20.
NIIT Tech gains as the company has announced a board meet on December 23rd to consider buyback.
And S&P revises its outlook for Shriram Transport to negative from stable. The negative outlook reflects the ratings will be lowered in the next 12 months or so. The management tells CNBC-TV18 that they expect an AUM growth of 10% in FY20.
More rating action. ICRA has revised rating outlook on Magma Housing Finance's NCDs to negative from stable. They expect rise in NPAs and profitability of the group to remain subdued in the medium term. Stock down by 4%.
Well, the market's looking strong with this good 80-point rally to kickstart trade. Yesterday, we were down close to around 50 points, or 40 points odd by the time we wound up. But we have pulled back all of that, and some of these stocks doing very, very well. The metals pack, actually, yesterday did see some selling. One would have thought we will see some follow-through buying on Monday. That didn't happen, but today, in fact, you know, that sector has bounced back. Yesterday it was one of the big losers. We had a couple of those stocks were under pressure, JSW Steel, Tata Steel Oil, but they are moving higher in today's trading session. So good going out there. How do you trade the Nifty from here? And if you're sitting on a long position, then how should you be positioning yourself? Prakash Gabal joins us. Prakash, at around 12,135 odd, what would the trade be on the Nifty? And also tell us, someone who's been enjoying this ride, had bought the Nifty earlier, where should their stop loss come in at?
Well, I would say that when you're trading long, trade long today. Simple. Looks like we have seen a good high. The breakout level was 12,100. We've got it. So it's heading up. So one should stay long. Only thing is now intraday is stretched a bit too much. So it needs to unstretch. Those would be buying opportunities. That happens, buy on dips. Where do you put a stop? I would put a stop somewhere closer to maybe around 12,100 and still trade long. You get dips, buy it. Have a deeper stop if you don't get a dip. But buy it because we can still go to 12,200. It's a matter of time because Santa is coming to town.
All right, Santa is indeed coming to town. But, you know, before Santa or right after Santa, Salman is coming to town. And
yes,
every time we speak with you, we have to talk about that.
Tomorrow I'm watching the movie.
Tomorrow you're watching the movie. Lucky
yes,
you, because, you know, the trailer is pretty exciting. PVR, that's the stock that should come up for you. A bit of an up move out there just in the last few odd minutes. Anything on the charts that suggests what PVR is going to do? Obviously, the movie is going to be a chartbuster.
Oh yes, PVR is a good stock to hold. It's a buy on dip stocks. Now it's into consolidation. Very strong support in the vicinity of around 1700 zone. I think give some time and space. It's heading to 2000. In the short term, I think it's heading to around 1850 or so, or maybe 1800. There's still a buy PVR. Looks good to me from the medium term to long term perspective.
And when do you see the movie? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening is when you see the movie. So we'll be having a review here on Chartbusters on Friday. Is
100%.
And
Even on Thursday, if you call me.
On Thursday. On
Thursday,
if they call me,
both you
Friday, I will
We'll
do it.
have it on Chartbuster Mangalam and
Absolutely.
Prakash will do the step also.
Oh, most definitely. You should do this step, actually.
Prakash, tell us, on a serious note, you told us about PVR. What about the other stocks you're recommending today?
I like TCS. TCS certainly is looking good to me. It's moved up lows recently and looks like it's heading to 2,200 zone, stop below 2,130. And I also like Tata Steel. Tata Pack is doing too good. Consolidation, good breakout today. I think it's heading to 450 zone, stop below 427. So Tata Steel and TCS, both looking good.
All right, both from the Tata group of companies, and of course Prakash has not only promised these stocks are going to do well, he's promised that he's going to do the step for us on Friday and tell us about the movie as well. With that, we'll move on. The mid-cap index has moved higher, 2 stocks in the green for 1 in the red. And there's some news coming in from the insurance space. Let's move on to a CNBC-TV18 exclusive. We learned from IRDA sources that the government is actually mulling increasing FDI in the insurance sector from 49% where it stands currently to 74%. Yash Jain tracks this sector closely, fills us in with more details. Yash.
Well, absolutely, Mangalam. This could be a very, very big development as far as the insurance space itself is concerned, both life and non-life when it comes to, getting incremental capital in the sector. What we're given to understand is that the insurance regulator has submitted its views to the government when it comes to increasing the FDI limit in the sector. The government essentially had sought views from the regulator before it takes any decision. The sector regulator, that is IRDAI, did an industry-wide consultation, and what has really come out is that most players want the FDI to be increased to 74% via automatic route, and that is the view which IRDA has also reaffirmed and stated to the government when it comes to its own stand when it comes to the foreign capital. The whole logic behind increasing the FDI is that the entire understanding is that Indian promoters at this point of time are not willing to increase capital infusion in their ventures, and these insurance ventures do require capital at different stages, and the FDI increase will get that further capital also in the insurance sector. One very important thing which I've been given to understand from my sources is that IRDA hasn't expressed its view when it comes to management control and decision making with that 74% stake. So that mandate still lies with the government, which has to decide whether it wants to give management control or not, and if it does not, then would foreign promoters be willing to come in with that 74% stake without management control? That's the important question also.
Okay, Yash, and you'll keep getting us updates on the insurance space as well, so we'll keep coming back to you. Thanks so much for joining in and filling us in with all those details. But let's, I think we're getting some visuals that are coming in there of the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, from North Block. I think should come up for you on the screen. Remember, the pre-budget consultation meetings with stakeholders have kicked off. Today, the FM will be meeting representatives from the services, industry and trade space as well. So we'll keep getting you, the news flow coming in from there.
Absolutely, that is the Finance Minister considering all opinions before she makes her budget. Definitely not choosing to take any hasty budget decision, any hasty policy decision as well. And that goes for you as well. Please remember not to take any hasty investment decisions, and don't be hasty on the road either. It is festive season, but always follow the speed limit.
Well, be the better guy, Network 18 and Hyundai's initiative